Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So in this video, I'm going to be reading a section in Thomas Hobbes' Leviathan that talked about something related to Aqidah. Okay, so I found it very interesting and I wanted to read it for you guys. So I'm going to take it. Okay, so it starts. The end of worship. The end of worship amongst men is power. For where a man seeth another worshipped, is supposeth him powerfull, and is the readier to obey him, which makes his power greater. But God has no hands. The worship we do to him proceeds from our duty and is directed according to our capacity. By those rules of honor, the reason dictateth to be done by the weak to the more potent men, in hope of benefit, for fear of damage, or in thankfulnesse for good already received from them. Attribute of divine honor. That we may know what worship of God is taught by us by the light of nature, I will begin with his attributes. Where, first, it is manifest, we ought to attribute to him existence. For no man can have the will to honor that which he thinks not to have any being. Secondly, that those philosophers who said the world, or the soul of the world was God, spake unworthily of him, and denied his existence. For by God is understood the cause of the world, and to say the world is God is to say there is no cause of it, that is, no God. Thirdly, to say the world was not created, but eternal, seeing that which is eternal has no cause, is to deny that there is a God. Fourthly, that they who attributing, as they think, is to God, take from him the care of mankind, take from him his honor, for it takes away men's love and fear of him, which is the root of honor. Fifthly, in those things that signify greatness and power, to say he is finite is not to honor him. For it is not a sign of the will to honor God to attribute to him less than we can, and finite is less than we can, because to finite it is easy to add more. Therefore, to attribute figure to God, to attribute figure to him is not honor, for all figures are finite. Not to say we conceive and imagine or have an idea of him in our mind, for whatsoever we conceive is finite. Not to attribute to him part or totality, which are the attributes only of things finite. Not to say he is this or that, place, for whatsoever is in place is bounded and finite. Not that he moved or rested, for both these attributes ascribe to him place. Nor that there be more gods than one, because it implies that they are all finite. For there cannot be more than one infinite, not to ascribe to him unless metaphorically, meaning not the passion, but the effect. And therefore, we ascribe to God a will. Okay, sorry, let me take this part again. Not to ascribe to him passions that partake of grief, as repentance, anger, mercy, or of want, as appetite, hope, desire, or any passive faculty, for passion is power limited by somewhat else. Okay. And therefore, we ascribe to him, to God, a will. It is not to be understood as that of man for a rational appetite, but as the power by which he effected everything. Likewise, when we attribute to him sight and other acts of sense, as also knowledge and understanding, which is in us, is nothing else but a tumult of the mind raised by external things that press the the organic parts of man's body. For there is no such thing in God, and being things that depend on natural causes cannot be attributed to him. He that will attributes to God nothing but what is warranted by natural reason must either use negative attributes as infinite, eternal, incomprehensible, or use superlatives like most high, most great, and the like, or indefinite such as good, just, holy, creator, and in such sense, as if he meant not to declare what he is, for that were to circumscribe him within the limits of our fancy. But how much we admire him, and how ready we would be to obey him, which is a sign of humility and of a will to honor him as much as we can, for there is but one name to signify our conception of his nature, and that is I am, and but one name of his relation to us, and that is God, in which is contained Father, King, and Lord. Thomas Hobbes, Leviathan.